The space station Orion's edge was quiet at night. Too quiet. Most workers were asleep. The lights were dim. Outside the metal walls, space stretched dark and endless. Eli Carter was still awake. He was a human maintenance worker. Not a soldier. Not a hero. Just a man who fixed broken doors, power lines, and old machines no one else cared about. People passed him every day without noticing him. Eli liked it that way. He sat alone in his small room, eating cold food and watching an old screen flicker. Another long shift was over. Another silent night was beginning. Then he heard it. A sound, soft, weak, almost unreal. Eli froze. At first, he thought it was a system error. The station made strange noises sometimes. Pipes moved. Walls clicked. Machines hummed. But this sound was different. It was a knock. Not loud. Not strong. Just a gentle tap on metal. Tap. Tap. Eli slowly stood up. No one knocked on doors this late. And no one knocked this softly. His heart began to beat faster. The station rules were clear. Do not open your door at night. If there is danger, call security. If there is an alien issue, stay away. Eli took one slow step toward the door. Then he heard something that made his blood turn cold. A tiny sound. A cry. It was small, broken, full of fear. Eli placed his hand on the door panel. He hesitated. If this was a trap, opening the door could mean death. Or worse. Behind him, the station alarm suddenly turned on. Red lights flashed in the hallway outside. Security sweep in progress. A cold voice announced through the walls. All residents remain in place. Eli swallowed hard. Security sweeps never happened without reason. He looked at the door again. Another weak knock came. This time, slower, tired. Tap. Eli made a choice. He opened the door. Something small fell inside. Eli gasped and stepped back. On the floor lay a tiny alien. It was no taller than a human child. Its skin had a soft glow, like fading stars. Its body was thin, shaking, and covered in small marks. Large eyes looked up at Eli, wide with fear. The alien tried to stand. It failed. Eli dropped to his knees without thinking. Hey. It's okay, he said softly, even though he did not know if it could understand him. The alien made a quiet sound and crawled closer, as if pulled by hope alone. Around its neck was a broken metal tag, covered in alien symbols. Eli's hands shook. He had seen aliens before. Many kinds. But never one like this. Never one so small. So helpless. Outside. Boots hit the floor. Heavy. Fast. Security guards were moving down the hallway. Unauthorized life form detected. The station voice announced. Containment required. Eli's mind raced. If they found the alien, they would take it. Everyone knew what happened to rare alien species. They were locked away, studied, sometimes erased. The tiny alien looked up at Eli again. Its eyes were filled with fear and something else. Trust. Eli closed the door. He locked it. Sound of boots stopped outside his room. A scanner beeped once. Eli held his breath. The tiny alien pressed against his leg. Trembling, seconds felt like hours. Finally, the boots moved on. Eli slowly sat down against the wall. His heart pounded so hard it hurt. He looked at the small alien again. What are you doing here? He whispered. The alien did not answer. It simply reached out with one small hand and touched Eli's sleeve. At that moment, Eli understood something deep inside him. This was not an accident. This was not a mistake, whatever this tiny alien was. The galaxy was hunting it. And now it was hiding with him, outside. Alarms continued to echo through the station. Inside, a human and a tiny alien sat together in silence. Neither of them knew it yet, but the future of the galaxy had just changed. Eli did not sleep that night. The tiny alien lay on a folded blanket near the wall. its small body rising and falling slowly. Its faint glow filled the room with soft light. Like a dying star refusing to go out. Eli sat on the floor, his back against the bed, watching every movement. Outside, the space station was still on alert. Security drones passed again and again. Red lights flashed through the small window. The station voice repeated warnings in a cold tone. They were searching, not for a criminal, not for a weapon, for a child. Eli stood up quietly and moved closer to the alien. He knelt and placed a small cup of water beside it. The alien opened its eyes at once, as if it had never fully slept. Slowly, carefully, Eli pushed the cup forward. "It's safe," he said in a low voice. The alien stared at the water, then at Eli, then back at the water. After a long moment, it drank. Small hands shook as it held the cup. When it finished, it looked at Eli again and made a soft sound. Not a word. More like a breath of thanks. Eli felt something tighten in his chest. He turned on his old data screen and searched the galactic network. If the station was hunting this child, there had to be a reason. What he found made his blood run cold. The alien species did not have a public name. Most files were locked. Others were erased. But a few broken records remained. They were called unstable rares. Ancient, powerful, dangerous according to the galaxy. When they felt fear, their bodies failed. When they felt safety, something else awakened. Most empires decided it was easier to destroy them than protect them. Eli slowly looked back at the tiny alien. It was small, weak, quiet, nothing about it looked dangerous. A loud knock suddenly hit his door. Eli jumped to his feet. "Maintenance check," a voice called from outside. Eli's heart slammed against his chest. The alien sensed the danger at once. It scrambled toward him, clutching his leg with both hands. Its glow began to change brighter, uneven. "No," Eli whispered, kneeling down. "Please, stay calm." The glow slowed. The alien pressed its face against his knee. Shaking. Eli stood and opened the door just a crack. A security officer stared back at him. "You seen anything strange?" the officer asked. Eli shook his head. "No, sir. Just tired. Long shift." The officer's scanner beeped softly. For one terrible second, Eli thought it was over. Then the officer frowned and turned away. "Stay inside." The door closed. Eli locked it and slid down the wall. Breathing hard, the alien looked up at him, slowly. It lifted one small hand and touched his face. "Warm. Real. Alive." Eli laughed quietly, a sound mixed with fear and relief. "You almost got us both killed," he said. The alien made a small sound that almost felt like a laugh. Hours passed. Eli knew he could not hide the child forever. The station would search every room. It was only a matter of time. He checked the rules again. Helping a rare alien was illegal. Sheltering one was treason. Refusing to report one was punishable by death. Eli closed the screen. Humans had rules. But humans also had something else. Choice. He packed a small bag. Food, water, old clothes. He wrapped the alien in a jacket to hide its glow. The alien did not resist. It followed him closely, trusting him without question. That trust scared Eli more than the guards. As he opened the hidden service tunnel behind his room, alarm suddenly changed tone. Not warning. Detection. Across the galaxy, ancient sensors came online for the first time in centuries. Something had been felt, not fear, not power. Safety. And it was coming from a human. Eli stepped into the dark tunnel with the tiny alien in his arms, unaware that by protecting one small life, he had just broken a rule the galaxy depended on, a rule that said humans should never be trusted with power. The service tunnel was dark and narrow. Old lights flickered as Eli moved forward, holding the tiny alien close to his chest. The metal floor was cold. The air smelled of oil and dust. This tunnel was never meant for people-only machines. Behind them, alarms echoed through the station. Security teams were searching harder now. The tiny alien pressed its face against Eli's jacket. Its glow dimmed, then brightened again, like it was breathing light instead of air. "It's okay," Eli whispered. "I won't let them take you." The alien did not understand the words, but it understood the promise. They reached a small storage room at the end of the tunnel. Eli closed the door and locked it. He leaned against the wall, breathing fast. His arms were shaking, not from fear alone, but from the weight of what he was doing. He was breaking the law, not by mistake, by choice. The alien slowly climbed out of his arms and stood on the floor. It looked around the room with wide eyes. Then it did something unexpected. It smiled. Not a big smile. Not a happy one. A soft smile. The glow around its body became steady and warm. At that exact moment, far beyond the station, something ancient woke up. Deep in forgotten parts of space, silent machines came alive. Old alien systems that had not worked for hundreds of years suddenly began to react. A signal spread. Quiet, clean, powerful. It was not a weapon signal. It was not a threat. It was a recognition signal. Back on the station, Eli noticed his screen turn on by itself. Symbols flashed, alien symbols he had never seen before. The screen struggled to translate. One word appeared: found. Eli stared at it. "What does that mean?" he whispered. The alien looked at the screen, then at Eli. It placed one small hand on his chest. The glow spread gently across the room. Outside, the station went silent. No alarms. No voices. No movement. Eli felt the silence press against his ears. Then a deep voice echoed through the station. Not from the station system, but from something older. Guardian identified. Eli froze. "Who's there?" he asked, his voice shaking. The voice did not answer him directly. Instead, it spoke to the entire station. "The child is under protection. Do not interfere." Security teams stopped moving. Weapons powered down. Screens went dark. Across the station, alien officers and human workers stared in confusion and fear. This had never happened before. In the storage room, Eli knelt in front of the tiny alien. "You did this?" he asked. The alien tilted its head, then slowly nodded. Eli felt a chill run through him. This child was not running. It was hiding. Waiting for safety. Waiting for someone who would not fear it. Outside the station, something even larger was happening. Alien fleets changed course. Messages spread between empires. A phrase passed from leader to leader, whispered like a warning: "The lost one has been found." On the station, a high-ranking alien commander approached Eli's location. He stood outside the door, alone. "No guards. No weapons. Human," the commander said calmly. "Open the door." Eli did not move. "The child you shelter does not belong to you," the commander continued. Eli looked at the tiny alien. It stood close to him, calm, trusting. "It belongs somewhere safe," Eli replied. There was silence. Then the commander spoke again, his voice lower now. "You do not understand what you protect." Eli opened the door just enough to look the commander in the eyes. "Neither do you," Eli said. "That's why it's afraid." The commander's eyes widened. Slightly, he bowed his head, just a little. Sign of respect no alien had ever given a human before. "You have activated something older than our laws," the commander said. "Something we tried to erase." Eli felt his heart pound. "What happens now?" he asked. The commander looked past him at the glowing child. "Now," he said, "the galaxy is coming." The door closed. Eli turned back to the tiny alien. It reached for his hand. And held it. For the first time since the alarms began, Eli understood the truth. This was never about hiding. This was about what happens when a human gives safety to something the galaxy fears, and the galaxy was about to answer. Space Station did not feel alive. Any more dot lights dimmed across long metal halls. Doors stopped opening and closing. Screens showed only black. Even the low hum of machines faded into silence. Eli felt it the moment it happened. The air itself seemed to pause. He stood inside the small storage room, holding the tiny alien's hand. The child's glow was no longer weak or shaking. It was calm, strong, steady. Outside the door, no one moved. No boots. No voices. No alarms. Stay close, Eli whispered. The tiny alien nodded and stepped closer to his leg. Suddenly, the wall screen turned on again. This time the image was clear. Not the station system. Something older. Something far bigger. A circle of alien faces appeared. Different shapes. Different worlds. All watching. The Guardian stands confirmed, a deep voice said. Human Eli Carter. Eli swallowed hard. I didn't ask for this, he said. We know, the voice replied. That is why you were chosen. The tiny alien stepped forward. The light around its body spread wider, touching the walls, the ceiling, the floor. The storage room felt warm, safe like nothing bad could enter. Across the station, security teams dropped to their knees, not because they were forced, because they felt fear. And respect. The alien commander from before entered the room slowly. He stopped several steps away and lowered his head fully this time. This child is known as a bearer, the commander said. One of the last. Its kind does not rule through force. They rule through trust. Eli looked down at the child, so everyone hunted it. Eli said quietly. The commander did not deny it. Yes, he answered. Because trust is more dangerous than weapons. The tiny alien raised its hand. A soft wave of light moved through the station. Weapons powered down completely. Locks released. Broken systems repaired. Themselves in seconds. Humans and aliens alike stared in shock as the station healed. Eli felt his knees weaken. This is too much, he said. It's just a child. That is why it is powerful, the commander replied. Suddenly, a loud warning echoed not from the station, but from deep space. Multiple fleets approaching. Screens turned on across the station, showing massive alien ships entering the sector. Symbols flashed. Names appeared. Empires, councils, rulers. They had all come. They want to take it. Eli said. Yes, the commander replied. Or destroy it. The tiny alien tightened its grip on Eli's hand. For the first time, it spoke. One word. Soft. Clear. Stay. Eli felt tears burn his eyes. I'm here, he said without thinking. The alien leaders on the screen began to argue. Voices overlapped. Accusations flew. The human is unfit. They cannot control it. This breaks every law. The tiny alien raised its hand again. Silence. Every voice stopped. It looked at Eli, then at the screens. This one chose, the child said slowly. Chose me. When afraid. When hunted, the glow around it brightened. I choose back. The words echoed through the station and beyond. The alien fleets halted. No weapons fired. No attack came. Across the galaxy. Ancient laws activated, laws older than any empire. A bearer could choose its guardian, and once chosen, no force could take them apart. The commanders realized it at the same time. They had lost control. Eli felt the weight of the moment crash down on him. What happens now? He asked. The tiny alien stepped closer and leaned against him. Now, it said softly, we go home. Eli looked at the ship's filling space outside the window. At the leaders watching. At the commander bowing again. Home was no longer a place. It was a promise. And the galaxy had Just learned something it would never forget. When humans choose to protect, even the stars must listen. The silence did not last. Across space, the alien fleet stopped moving, but their presence felt heavy. Thousands of ships surrounded the station like dark shadows. Every human sensor screamed danger. Eli stood beside the tiny alien near the main viewing window. Stars glittered outside, calm and beautiful, as if nothing was wrong. Inside the station, fear spread fast. Human officers gathered in command rooms. Alien commanders argued through long-distance calls. Voices rose. Screens flashed warnings. Then a single message cut through everything. It came from the Galactic Council. Clear, cold, final. Humanity is ordered to surrender the bearer child immediately. Failure to comply will result in total isolation of Earth. Trade ends. Travel ends. Protection ends. Eli felt his stomach drop. "This is because of me," he said quietly. The tiny alien shook its head. "Because of fear," it replied. Human leaders contacted the station. Their faces filled the screens, serious, tired. "Afraid. You did what you thought was right," one of them told Eli. "But this is bigger now." Eli looked down at the small hand holding his sleeve. "They want to take it," Eli said. "You know what that means." The leaders did not answer. They all knew. The galaxy had never protected this species. Only used it. Or erased it. Outside, alien fleets powered their weapons, not aiming. Just showing force. A warning. The alien commander from the station stepped forward and spoke to the council. "If the child leaves the Guardian, its power may awaken without control," he said. "This could destroy entire systems." "Then the human is the risk," the council replied. "Remove him." Eli laughed once. Not because it was funny, but because it was clear. "They still don't understand," he said. The tiny alien climbed into his arms. It rested its head against his chest. Its glow softened. Human leaders fell silent. Finally, the highest human commander spoke. "Humanity refuses." The room went still. "We will not surrender a child who asked for safety," the commander continued. "If the galaxy demands cruelty, we choose something else." Across the fleets, shock spread. No one had expected that answer. "You choose war?" the council demanded. "No," the human replied. "We choose responsibility." Alien ships shifted. Weapons charged higher. Energy filled space like a storm, ready to break. Eli felt fear, but he did not let it show. The tiny alien lifted its head. "May I speak?" it asked softly. The council hesitated, then allowed it. The child floated slightly off the floor, glowing brighter. "Not dangerous. Not violent. Honest. I was hunted," it said. "Not because I harmed, but because I could trust." The council leaders listened, silent. "This human opened a door," the child continued. "Not knowing who I was. Not asking for power. Only because I was afraid." The glow spread outward, touching every screen. "I choose humans," the child said. "Not as rulers. Not as weapons. As protectors." A wave of energy moved across space. Alien weapons powered down. Some fleets pulled back. Others stayed frozen. Unsure what to do. Ancient systems activated, older than the council itself. Laws no one had used in centuries came online. A bearer's choice could not be denied. The council realized it too. Late. Their control was ending. Eli held the tiny alien. Close as ships slowly withdrew. The galaxy did not attack, but it did not forgive. As the last council message faded, a final warning appeared. "This choice will change everything. Humanity will be watched." Eli looked out at space, then down at the child. "Guess we're not invisible anymore," he said. The child smiled. "No," it replied. "Now they will learn who you really are." Far away, across the stars, stories began to spread. not of human weapons, not of human war, but of a species that chose to stand between a child and the universe, and the galaxy was not ready for what that meant. The stars around Earth were crowded. Alien fleets hovered at a careful distance, not attacking, not leaving. They waited, watching every human move, watching the small glowing child who stood beside a human. Maintenance worker. Eli felt the weight of it all. He had fixed broken doors. Now he stood between worlds. The tiny alien bearer of ancient power rested calmly near him. Its light was no longer soft or weak. It was clear and steady, like a promise that could not be broken. Across space, new messages appeared. Not threats this time. Questions. Double quotes. What are humans planning? Can they control the bearer? Should we strike first? The fear was spreading. Not fear of the child. Fear of humans. Human leaders gathered again. Some argued to hide the child. Others wanted to give it up to protect Earth. Eli listened, silent. Then he spoke. You still don't get it, he said simply. It's not ours to control. The tiny alien looked up at him and nodded. Time passed. Not days. Not weeks. Years. The galaxy slowly returned to its normal rhythm. But nothing was truly the same again. Trade resumed. Ships traveled freely. Councils met and argued, as they always had. Yet one truth stayed alive in every world. Humans were no longer unseen. Eli Carter did not become famous. He refused interviews. He refused offers of power. He returned to simple work, living on a quiet human station near Earth. The only difference was that the tiny alien was no longer tiny. The child had grown, still small by alien standards, but taller now, stronger. Its glow was steady and calm. Like a sunrise that never fades. It was known across the galaxy as Orin, not a weapon, not a ruler, a reminder. Orin stayed with Eli, not because it had to, but because it wanted to. It learned human words, human habits, human silence. It liked sitting beside Eli while he fixed machines, handing him tools with careful hands. To Orin, Eli was not a guardian title, he was family. Across alien space, old empires changed their rules. Some did it out of fear, others out of shame. Worlds that once destroyed the weak began to protect them. Slowly, carefully, not all at once, but enough. One day, the Galactic Council sent a message to Earth, not a command, not a threat. An invitation. They wanted Eli and Orin to attend the gathering of worlds. Not to speak, not to lead. Only to stand there. Eli almost refused, but Orin looked up at him and said, "They need to see." So they went. When they entered the great council chamber, silence followed them. Aliens of every shape watched the human and the glowing alien walk side by side. No guards followed. No weapons were raised. An elder council member finally spoke. "Why did you open the door?" The elder asked Eli. "You did not know who it was." Eli thought for a moment. "Because it knocked," he said. "And it was scared." The chamber stayed silent. Orin stepped forward. "You hunted my kind because you feared what we become when safe," Orin said. "But safety did not make me destroy." Orin turned and looked at Eli. "It made me trust." That word echoed through the chamber. Trust. Something the galaxy had lost long ago. The council bowed. Not to Orin alone. To the space between them. Human and alien. Side by side. After that day, stories spread faster than ships. Children across the galaxy learned a new lesson. Not about power, not about victory. About a human who opened a door. Years later, long after Eli's hands grew old and his steps slowed, he sat beneath a quiet sky. Orin sat beside him, glowing softly. "Do you regret it?" Orin asked gently. "Opening the door?" Eli smiled. "No," he said. "Best thing I ever fixed." Orin laughed. A sound warm and bright. When Eli finally passed, The galaxy paused. Not with fear, with respect. Oren stood before the stars and made a promise. Humans will never stand alone. Oren said, as long as kindness lives. From that day forward, whenever a lost ship sent a weak signal, whenever a child knocked on a door, whenever the galaxy faced a choice between fear and care, they remembered the human dot and the tiny alien, and the truth the universe could never forget. Humanity did not change the galaxy by force. It changed it by opening a door. I am not a weapon, it said. I am a memory. The alien commanders watched closely. A memory of what? One asked. Of what the galaxy forgot, the child replied. Protection without chains. The child floated higher, light spreading far into space. It did not burn. It did not hurt. It revealed. Old battlefields appeared in the glow. Worlds destroyed. Species erased not by humans, but by fear-driven empires. The fleets grew quiet. This is what you became, the child said gently. You feared losing control. So you lost yourselves. A deep signal echoed across space. Not an attack. Recall. Ancient Guardians machines, older than empires, activated around the bearer. They did not serve any council. They served balance. Every fleet received the same command. Stand down, one by one. Alien ships lowered weapons. Some commanders protested. Others bowed. Eli felt his breath catch. This wasn't supposed to happen. A council leader said. The child looked at him. It already did. When a human opened a door, the Guardians turned their focus to humanity. Humans waited, tense. Were they now a threat? Or a test? The Guardians scanned Earth. Cities, homes, children, workers, farmers. Not power. Not weapons, care. Species human, the Guardians declared. Status, suitable protectors. The words spread through every channel. Gasps filled alien command rooms. Protectors, not rulers. Not conquerors. Protectors. Ali felt something heavy lift from his chest. The child floated down and took his hand. Again, fear ends when someone stands still, it said. You stood. The galaxy watched as humans did not celebrate, did not boast, did not demand power. They simply protected the small one who had. Trusted them. That scared the galaxy more than any fleet. One alien commander finally spoke. We feared you because you care without command, he said. That is dangerous. Ayla met his gaze. Yes, he replied. It is. Slowly, the fleets began to leave, not in defeat. In understanding. But not all fear was gone. From the shadows beyond known space, older eyes watched. Darker forces listened. They had seen what happened when kindness met power, and they would not forget. As Earth returned to normal, Ayla sat quietly beside the tiny alien, looking up at the stars. What happens next? He asked. The child smiled. Next, it said, the galaxy learns to live with you. And somewhere far away, something ancient stirred. Not afraid of humans. But curious.